Hello guys, welcome back for the October JRPG news roundup. We start with the Falcom news as always. On the merch side, the yearly Falcom calendars are now up for pre-order on the Falcom store, split between both wall calendars and desk calendars. They can be bought separately or as a bundle. In light of the recent novel concerning Ys 8, there's been suggestions as well that more could be on the way, with Kondo expressing particular desire in bringing Ys 9 and 10 to the page considering his high level of involvement with both projects. Tio Plato's scale figure is now up for pre-order at 17,550 yen on the likes of Ami, but if you want the alternate faceplate, you can order directly from Kotobukiya for 20,900 yen. And finally on the merch side, there's been another announcement for a figure, this time Estelle Bright, which recently had the prototype presented based on her art from Sky's second chapter. On the game side of things, not much to say. Ys 10 sold 16,000 units in its first week of launch on Switch, which, yeah, looks good based on the chart, but don't forget this is the first game in the series that launched on the platform. The rest of the games shown were all ports, so it's to be expected that Ys 10 trumped them all. On the English side of things though, NIS America shared our dub voice cast for Daybreak. Check out the list if you get the chance, which will be linked in the description. On to the general JRPG news now, starting with merch. The previously revealed Leon scale figure from Tales of Destiny is now up for pre-order at 24,000 yen, releasing in June next year. Koei Tecmo next, with some Halloween merch based on the likes of Atelier Ryza, Knights of Asia, and Arno Surge. Wall tapestries, pins, acrylic stands, they're all here. You can order from either Gust or Koei directly, but it looks to only be available for Japan, so proxy might be needed here. The previously announced visual collections for Atelier Ryza 1 and 2 have been confirmed as releasing in December this year for the West. These were previously only coming to Japan. They come to $45 each. Ryza, Claudia and Leela are getting plushies based on the anime adaptation of the first game, $28 each and releasing in Q3 2024. These are available for the West also. And rounding out the Koei merch is another 1/7 scale of Ryza up for pre-order from Marvelous Works. It's 27,000 yen and has an October 2024 release. This is once again based on the anime adaptation. Moving to Sega now, Ichiban, Majima and Kiryu are getting Nendoroids, no doubt as a supporting act for the upcoming release of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. No release date or price were given for them though. Bandai Namco have teased the idea of an anime adaptation for their recently released Musou action RPG Fate Samurai Remnant. Now if they did decide to go down that path, it'll be interesting to see how it's done, as the game itself is much like the original visual novel of Fate Stay Night. 3 routes, 3 different stories. I don't think you can combine the arcs to be honest, as it would detract from the impact of each of them, so if they wanted to go full on, I'd say adapt one route, see how it goes, and then do the other 2 if people show an interest. A perfect guide for the game is also launching on November 2nd, 2023 for just under 3,000 yen. Spike Chunsoft have announced that the soundtrack for mystery adventure title Master Detective Archives Raincode is now up for pre-order at 5,300 yen via EB10. It releases in November this year. For Atlas, there's a couple of things. As part of the 30th anniversary of SMT, there are some acrylic stands of the various pro tags up to order for $20 each, and the previously announced 1/6 scale figure of Aegis is now up for pre-order for 33,000 yen via EB10 once again. It releases in October next year. We round out the merch this month with Square Enix. There are some fragrance mists up to order on the Japanese storefront based on Kingdom Hearts, coming to 6,000 yen each and releasing next February. Pre-orders for Star Ocean Second Story R's soundtrack are now available in the West for $38, releasing in November this year. And as a taster, a couple of those songs were also put on streaming services. An assembly video has been shared of the Masterline Terra figure that comes to a whopping $13,800. It's impressive, but let's face it, it should be at that price. And lastly, 1x72 scale model kits of select front mission mechs has been put up for pre-order, releasing in September 2024. They come to $90 each and can be ordered from Western storefronts. To the developer news now, starting with Square. The mobile RPG Dragon Quest Monsters Super Light is closing down service on January next year after 10 years of service. The Front Mission First remake is getting a physical version for PS5 and Xbox Series, releasing on December the 5th. Final Fantasy XVI won some awards at a Spanish gaming event called Equinox Latam. These included Best Art Direction, Best Soundtrack, and Best PlayStation Game. It's also going to be having a crossover with the MMO Final Fantasy XIV at a later date, with Clive joining the self-insert Warrior of Light in a unique questline. We also got confirmation that Vincent Valentine is going to be voiced by Matthew Mercer. He's voiced the likes of Kiritsugu Emiya from Fate Zero and Yusuke in Persona 5, so it's in good hands, I think. Now next up is a story concerning fantasy writer Brandon Sanderson. It's nothing major, I just thought it was cool considering the enjoyments I get from his works, and his taste in games might be a reason for that. In an informal video with fellow author Wesley Wu, they shared their 5 favourite narrative-driven games, of which Sanderson voted Final Fantasy X as his personal favourite among the 5 he named. The others in sequential order from 5 to 2 were Infamous, Hades, Undertale and Bioshock. We also had word for the Saga franchise, with Tomomi Kobayashi, a character designer for a number of games in the series, mentioning in a blog post that the game is potentially coming out next year. She was quoted as saying, "Oh, that's right, it looks like Saga Frontier 2 is, maybe, going to be released next year. My illustrations are in the game, I hope you look forward to it." And this was swiftly altered a little later on. It'll be interesting to see if that develops into anything further down the line. Finally, there's been suggestions that Dragon Quest X Offline could be due a Western announcement soon, though it's all conjecture at present. This comes from a recent trailer shown by Square Enix Asia, who just published a trailer stating the game is due out in Asian regions for spring next year. I'd like to think we might get similar treatment. Sea of Stars has had a large patch to fix some bugs and hard crashes, so anyone who's held out will hopefully get a more stable experience. And since we're touching on indie titles, Studio Sai, the creators, or should I say creator, of Eternights, has now expanded beyond just a one-man team in preparation for the new project. They've also secured $7 million in seed funding, which will go into the game's development, of which has already been communicated that it will be shifting from Unity Engine to Unreal Engine 5. It's also been suggested via Steam that Denuvo is no longer a part of the Mega Man Battle Network collection, which is always a good thing when true. CyberConnect 2 have announced that there is now language support for Italian, Korean, Brazilian, Portuguese and Russian on their latest release of Fuga Melodies of Steel 2. There's also been an interesting development on the Dot.Hack site, which shows a countdown clock sitting at around 120 days as of the time of recording. It's not been confirmed whether this is official or not, nor has there been any updates from CyberConnect 2 or the publisher, but time will tell. Sega has announced that an English dub for Like a Dragon Gaiden will be made available, but only via a post-launch update. And they have shown 50 minutes of gameplay for the upcoming release of Infinite Wealth. It's as wacky as you would think. Compile Heart announced quite a few things this month. We'll go over those in the upcoming releases section, but they have confirmed that a new numbered Neptunia title is in development, meaning they are steering away from the recent deluge of spin-offs for the time being. They have decided to pursue this course now that they apparently have a clear focus as to what they want to do with the series going forward. There's also been news that Death End Request 3 is in development too. Not much is known about it for now, but we have it confirmed at the very least. It will apparently take some time to develop though, and the spin-off is being prioritised first. We'll touch on that in the upcoming releases. Cry Machina now has a demo available for PS4, PS5 and Switch if you want to get a taste of the game before purchasing. Critic reviews have been going up and they don't look too hot, though the user scores seem to be a bit more forgiving. It's still one of my most anticipated titles, so hopefully it's not going to be another case of Loop 8. Vanillaware have had their latest release of Unicorn Overlord marked as teen by the ESRB in light of, quote, design choices, blood and language. Standard stuff. Now this is interesting, a new developer called GP Track 50, formed by former Capcom producer Hiroyuki Kobayashi, has announced that they are working on a new 3D action RPG which they expect is going to take 2 to 3 years to develop. It will have jobs, weapons and enemy weak points, and they're hoping to have testing done by spring next year. Rounding out our talk on the developer news will be Koei Tecmo. Fate Samurai Remnant has been Steam Deck verified for those who hold the platform, and it has since sold over 300,000 units worldwide. On to the upcoming releases now, and we're starting with a couple of visual novels. A crowdfunding campaign has been launched for Kimi ga Nozomu En to bring it to modern consoles and PC in the West. And Muv-Luv, along with Muv-Luv Alternative, is coming to Switch in spring 2024 for Japan and the West. For the RPG side of things, there's a tactical RPG called The Great Ambition of the Slimes releasing on Switch for October the 26th. It is already available on PC. The previously announced spin-off for Death End Request via Compile Heart in Code Zion is releasing in summer 2024 for Japan. It is connected to the previous two mainline titles, but outside of some character renders, we don't know much else yet except that the design is going to be different from the previous games. Compile Heart also announced Touhou Spell Carnival, a tactical RPG in collaboration with Sting, who worked with them on Fairy Fencer Refrain Chord. It's based on the original Touhou project, but not sure if it will be coming west. Among the 5 announcements they made though, this one will be the first to be released in a planned window of spring 2024. The final announcement from Compile Hearts was Todokeru Tatakae Calamity Angels, which will have the artist from Mugen Souls and Fairy Fencer involved. It appears to be some sort of delivery RPG and is planned to come to Switch, PS4 and PS5 with a PC port later down the line. At the moment, this one also is locked to just a Japanese release. SRPG Mercenaries Lament Requiem of the Silver Wolf has been confirmed as coming to PC in 2024. It is currently already available on PS4, PS5 and Switch. Acquire have announced a deck builder title called Cards RPG The Misty Battlefield coming to PC via Steam, though no release date has been given. A fantasy adventure RPG called Duet Night Abyss is coming to mobile and PC. Pre-registrations are now open. A new fantasy sci-fi action RPG called Babylon X has been announced for PC and unspecified consoles. No release date was given. Dungeon RPG Shiren the Wanderer is coming west on Switch for February 2024 following its announcement last month from Spike Chunsoft. Atelier Resliana has been confirmed as coming to PC via Steam on January come next year, though at the moment that is only for Japan. Like the current release on mobile devices as of now, there has been no news on whether the West will get this at all. Horror adventure title Little Goody Two Shoes has been confirmed as releasing on October the 31st by Square Enix, so fittingly, Halloween. This is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, Switch and PC. And I'll be real, this looks great. It gives me that early 90s anime feel in terms of its art direction, and the premise looks pretty good as well. Might be a sleeper hit here. And finally, there has been an announcement that a fan-made remaster of Suikoden 3 is in the pipeline. Announced by 1v-Rock, who has his own YouTube channel, this is a person who has been involved for remaster mods for the likes of Xenogears and the Alliance Alive, so the skill set is certainly there. There's currently a video up showing some comparison images between the original and its remaster, but as of yet, there is no planned release date. Good luck to them though. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe for more JRPG content and consider joining my Patreon if you're interested. Peace.